Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Power of AEM. In this video, we are talking about the configuration and implementation of connected asset. In the previous video, we have discussed about the architecture, overall overview, and different use cases where you can use connected asset. Before moving to the implementation and configuration, I would like to request to everyone, please subscribe my channel, as your subscribing my channel is helping to grow me in future, as well as you will also get some helpful tutorial to understand and enhance your AEM knowledge. So let's move on the agenda to discuss about the implementation. But before that, you should know about the prerequisites. When I'm talking about what you should have before starting the configuration and implementation of connected asset, so make sure you are having two separate AEM authoring instances or AEM instances. One is for sites, another is for assets. When I'm talking about sites, it could be your Adobe managed services hosted AEM sites environment or AEM as a cloud service environment. And it could be more than one. However, when I'm talking about asset, it should be always one, and it should be on Adobe Cloud environment in case you want to connect with Adobe Cloud websites environment. And if you are having case like Adobe Managed Services, in that case, your asset could be on Adobe Managed Services as well. So let's talk about both the environment should be in in a same network without having any challenges in order to communicate with each other. When you are working on the AEM environment, make sure you are having the compatible AEM versions, ideally for managed services. However, on AEM as a cloud service, make sure you are always with the latest version. Now, you also need to look at the configuration on user management, which we will discuss in the later slide. Also, your both environments, assets and sites, should be SSL enabled. On AMS, you have to do separate steps to enable the SSL. And for that, we are not having any recording, but based on your request, we can definitely record the session and can share with you. However, on AEM as a cloud service, by default, all the instances are SSL enabled. When we are talking about connected asset, make sure you are using the out of the box configurations, not having any customization on the configuration. So what are the configuration steps? And we are considering AEM as a cloud service. Before taking very first step, once you are done with your servers and both servers are communicating with each other, make sure on your asset instance, create a user, and that user should be part of two groups. One is AEM assets, connected asset tech accounts, and the another one is DAM user. That is for your assets. Similar kind of users or a different name, but a user, technical user, you need to create for your sites as well. But the change would be DAM user group will be same in the both instances. However, on sites, make sure you are configuring sites, connected asset sites, and on assets, you are connecting with connected asset. So these name of groups you need to align accordingly. Once you are done with the user configuration in both the environments, after that, you need to do a configuration. Where you can find this configuration under the tools, assets, and connected asset configuration. Once you hit the style, you will get a configuration window where you need to provide your asset URL, the user which you created and its related password, a folder which you want to align. I mean, which folder you want to access on the sites, that folder should be there. By default is the connected asset name, but you can also do some change and can utilize it. After that, your site URL and your user which you have created on site with the password, and what could be the base threshold. I mean the binary file, every asset is having a binary file, so what is the threshold that you want to set in terms of working with connected asset? So that threshold you can configure accordingly based on your business need. By default is 100 KB. A part of that, if you are connecting or utilizing dynamic media, in that case, you want to fetch some renditions from the dynamic media. In that case, you need to take the option of dynamic media. And once you are done with the configuration, hit the test button to make sure your configurations are perfectly fine. Whatever information you have supplied in this configuration window, that is working to connect both the environments, your assets and sites environment. Once testing is successful, just hit the save button and you are done with the configuration. So let's quickly see before move to the next how that will be available on your AEM environment. So currently you can see this is one of my user on asset environment. My asset environment is running on the dev instance, as you can see here. So I have aligned a DAM user group as well as connected asset. Here you can see assets. So this group also aligned. In the same user, or you can say the different user, but with the same kind of local user, I need to create for my sites account or sites environment. In sites environment, I created a user and aligned DAM user, which is the same user group. But when I'm talking about asset connected asset group, here I selected sites. So make sure your site should be for site environment and asset for the asset environment. If you are doing any changes or interchanges, in that case, your configuration will not work. So once you're done with this, you need to go on your sites environment and click on the tools, assets, and look at the connected asset configuration. Hit the style, it will open up the configuration. Once you are supplying all the information on your configuration, hit the test button. Once you hit the test button, it will show you either successful or failure message. If you are getting failure message, you need to look at the logs and check out why it is failing. Otherwise, you will get a green box which is showing us the successful message. Once you are done, click on the save button and you are done with the configuration. Let's go back to the, we are here back. Once we are done with all the steps, we also see how we can access the sites or how we can pull out all the assets on the site environment. Sometime whenever you are working on that, you might face some challenges related to chorus issue. When we are talking about chorus issue, it that is cross-site uh, request issues. In that such kind of cases, you need to do different enhancement in your OSGI configuration. The first place of the OSGI configuration which you need to touch, that is related to Adobe Granite cross origin resource sharing policy, where you need to allow the site's URL and make sure that is something you are performing on your asset environment. So you need to open your asset environment, open this OSGI configuration, and if you are not managed services, then you need to do the same on your code base. So you need to override this OSGI configuration with the PID that you can see in this screenshot. So this course policy, you need to override and make sure that is part of your config submodule, where you need to allow in the allow origin section, you need to pass your URL of sites environment, AEM environment, as well as under the supported headers, you need to allow access control, allow origin. So once you are done with two changes in this configuration, deploy your code, hit the pipeline either on your non-production pipeline or production pipeline, wherever you are working. And once this change is available, you will not face any course issue as per this screenshot, which you can see on my current slide. So Once you are done with the changes, you also need to touch one more configuration. That configuration is talking about, we also face some course issue related to same site cookie, because both environments are running on different URLs. So might be you can face this challenge. So if you are facing such kind of challenge, make sure you are enhancing or overriding the same OSGI configuration, which is Adobe Gray Knight token authentication handler, and make sure same site attribute cookie and the value is none. So once you are done with this change, deploy your code, and once you are done the changes on the both OSGI configuration, you will not face the issue. And once you try to fetch assets on your site's platform, you can easily see all the assets. If you have any question, any doubt, feel free to drop me your question in the comment box. I will be happy to respond on that. And please do subscribe and like my channel.